The last time I ordered a random electronic gadget from China over the internet actually turned out surprisingly well. So I thought I'd try my luck again, and this time decided to order a robot hand. Now, if you go onto a site like Banggood, you'll find that there's a range of similar designs of these robotic hands, as well as claws and grabber arms. In fact, I'm in an entire section of the site dedicated to robot arm and tank. But the particular model I decided to go for was this one, which is described as a DIY 5 Degree of Freedom RC Robot Arm Educational Kit Robot Arm with servos left. The significance of that left we will come on to in a moment, by the way. It looks pretty aesthetically nice. It seems robust as far as you can tell. It does say in the description that the robot arm is unassembled. You'll need to assemble it yourself, but, I thought, how hard can it be? So I decided to order one and find out. And after a few weeks, I got a parcel containing this lot. So I've got some laser cut acrylic pieces, I've got the palm and the base, and I guess these will be the finger joints themselves. Then I've got another bag which has got some cheap blue servo motors in it, that's the only electronic parts here. Another bag which has got some brass bearings and springs and other metal hardware. Here's the servo horns and some other plastic bits. And then, oh my gosh, so many little bags of slightly differently sized screws and bolts and nuts. And that is it. No thank you for purchasing our robot hand, no instructions. So it's now, you're on your own, good luck. Now, I did email Banggood customer support and asked if there was a digital download of the instructions I could access, but they didn't reply. But I thought, well, never mind, because I could still assemble the hand from the components I'd been sent using the photographs in the product description as a reference. So I started to do that. And then I thought, well, when I make this video, what I could do is include one of those nice time-lapse segments that showed me assembling all the different components and putting it together, and that would be a useful reference for anyone else in the future who bought one of these. Now, I didn't end up including that video in the end because me assembling this, the process involved screwing two arbitrary components together, looking at it for a bit, going, no, that's not right, unscrewing it, turning them round, screwing them together the other way, undoing it again, swearing quite a lot, and then that for many, many hours. And that was not a video I wanted to make, and it's not a video you would want to watch either. So I kind of ended up muddling my way through this, but there were so many points where I was not sure what I was doing, because so the screws here, the bags of screws, there are 6mm screws, 8mm, 10mm, 12mm. Some of them have got button heads, some of them are countersunk. There are regular nuts, there are nylock locking nuts, there's different bolt lengths, and I've no idea. Without any kind of reference, I've literally just had to guess what I think goes where. The actual mechanism itself is actually not that badly designed. So each finger is made up of 3 sections, much like the 3 bones in your hand, really. There's obviously joints that have got a bolt going across. That's nice and easy. And then as the servo motor here pulls down on this rod here, it pulls the entire finger mechanism, and that kind of causes it to extend and contract and kind of bends the intermediate joints along the way as well. And the 4 fingers work in exactly the same way. You've got the thumb. Now the thumb, I don't think I got this bit right at all, because I think what happened, well, if you look at the 4 fingers here, you've got these sort of 4 little metal brackets, and they're all identical. Now this one here is different, and I thought that this one was different because this was the thumb one and these 4 were the fingers. But I think actually the thumb should be the same, but what they've done is they sent me a right-handed thumb bracket and left-handed finger brackets, and for that reason I had to include like a little spacer on the thumb just to make this line up. Now that's not in any of the pictures which I could see in the photos as far as I could tell, so I don't think that should be required. But, you know, I've got something and it kind of looks approximately like the pictures. So to test whether it works or not, I need to actually connect the servos to something. The hand comes with the servos, but with no ability to control them. So you either need to go wire this to a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino or something. Or in my case, I've just wired it to a servo tester board here, just so I can manually position each of those servos. So if I just plug it into a LiPo battery, and I can show you what happens. So let's start with the first finger. So the first finger, you know, that's kind of pretty nice if you can see that happening. So the servo there at the bottom is rotating. That's pulling down on the rod, and that's making the finger go up and down. Okay, that's pretty good. That's finger number one. Finger number two, same again. That's okay. You can kind of hyperextend all the fingers, by the way. There's nothing to stop you doing that, which is rather unnatural, but it doesn't actually prevent the mechanism from working, so that's okay. Finger number three does that, which is unpleasant. In fact, I'm just going to have to make it stop it, so we'll leave finger number three alone. Finger number four, that's okay. And the thumb is okay. So we got 4 out of 5 digits. That one's knackered. There was also a servo motor supplied that should have had the entire hand resting on it, so you could actually pivot it like that. That did not work at all either, so I've simply had to screw the hand onto the base here, and because that wasn't designed to be done like that, that's why the hand is so wobbly. So, you know, I could try replacing these servo motors with some higher quality. These blue plastic ones are always rubbish. So I could get some metal geared ones and try and replace those. And, you know, I could probably have a go at coming up with better joints. But I'm totally honest, if I was doing this again, I probably would not even bother starting with this kit. You would be better off simply cutting yourself 3 different finger joint pieces like this. If you've got access to either a CNC or a laser machine, this is just 3mm acrylic. So you can cut these pieces like this, put a joint there, and then these bars here are what causes each individual joint to bend and flex. And just get 5 servo motors, and you could probably build a hand like this easily and more reliably than attempting to follow the kit that I was doing with no instructions. And it would probably work out cheaper as well. So, you know, it's not a bad effort. I actually quite like the aesthetic of it. Oh, I don't like that. I actually quite like the look of it. It's probably slightly bigger than an anatomically correct human hand, but it's, you know, it's quite nice. And I'm going to try and fix it up, but I can't honestly recommend you buy this one. So this is going to end up being probably a 3 out of 10.